All right, so the first thing for her eyebrow is that I need to make sure that the skin is already kind of shaded with just a light value. It's just that I don't want the white of the paper to poke through later, so I just have to put a little something down. I would hope to kind of shade light enough so that the shape of the eyebrow is still visible, so that I know kind of where that's at. I've already put it in place, but so that I don't have white paper to deal with. If you've shaded over in your skin and you've lost the shape of your eyebrow, you can just kind of draw that back in lightly. And you can probably even kind of figure out where it's at without. I'm just going to draw mine back a little bit because it's somewhat missing, okay? Then I want to start shading. There are some places in her eyebrow where it feels like the hairs have clumped together in order to create a dark value, where I don't see any skin poking through, and where I don't even really see any texture, right? No matter what, her eyebrow overall makes that area of her face darker. So I'm just going to start by working in that shape of her brow with a value. And I'm working directionally. So since the hair in this part of her eyebrow grows this way, I'm going to shade that way. And when I go down here, the hair kind of grows downward, I'm going to shade that way as well. So using directional lines with my shading can help me create a more convincing version of the form. So I've kind of filled in the shape of her brow just with a little bit of value. Right, now what I need to do is go ahead and start to work in actual texture lines. We did that little shading study as part of our value scales, where we worked on actually maintaining the crispness of the lines, where the texture was important when we did that scribble scale. That kind of an idea is going to 100% apply here. I need to retain the crispness of the line so that way I can create hair-like marks for her eyebrow. My pencil is going to need to be super sharp. I might feel like I have to sharpen it more than once. That's okay. I'm going to work in short little lines, and they're going to also be directional. More important than how many actual little hairs she has here is the fact that the hair kind of is these little brush-like brisk strokes. And even that they are somewhat irregular, you know, not perfect. That's going to come to play, especially underneath her brow arches. So I'm just kind of working with these little quick strokes. Underneath here, you can see that she has little hairs. And if I push less hard, the marks I make are going to be lighter. Areas where the hair kind of clumps or overlaps, you'll see that it's darker, and you can go back over those areas. Okay. There are some tiny little white lines that I want to add into her eyebrows, so I'm going to use the electric eraser. I am going to actually make sure that I have a new eraser so that I can use the clean edge that the eraser offers when it's brand new. The electric eraser is a pretty awesome little tool because it allows us to erase in a tiny little area. the eraser actually spins so that you can stay in a small space without having to move the eraser back and forth. So I can erase out I can erase out little lines in her eyebrow. If after I erase them they feel too bright or too white, you can just kind of knock them down by shading over them. The line will still be there, but it'll be kind of less noticeable.